Welcome to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shanna Register, and every week we bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. That is exactly what we're talking about today, is real estate transactions and what you're going to need. So, great show coming up for you today. If you've got a call-in question, give us a call, 844-788-9444. We're happy to hear from you every week, and we like to play input from you when we get it. 844-788-9444. If you miss any of today's show, catch it online at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com. We have almost 4 years worth of videos archived out there. So anything you could possibly want to know about real estate is probably going to be on there, especially after today's show. I'm talking with Martha Schauer of North American Title. She's their business consultant for the Woodlands and Montgomery County. I've known Martha since I got in the real estate business a long, long time. So
yes, you were brand new when I first met you. And I was given warning. Look out for Shannon. She's going places. And look at you now. So kudos, my friend.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
A lot of fun. Long road with a lot of fun in it. So we're going to be talking a little bit about several things today. Let's start with the mistakes that you see from a title company perspective that you see agents making. Because the consumers may not see that at all. They don't see that part of an agent's life when they're dealing with title companies. So I want to know what you're seeing as a title company as far as mistakes agents make.
Well, I need to preface it by saying we work with exceptional agents, and we seldom have problems or see a lot of mistakes. But when we do, a lot of it is just basic things like forgetting to execute the contract or forgetting to date the contract. And I think a lot of it is people get busy. People are busy nowadays, and they just forget the little details. So I would say, when you get to that point as a realtor, you make sure, and even the consumer with your realtor, make sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted, because that can hold up a transaction. If we have to continually go back and say, well, this wasn't filled out or that wasn't filled out. I think, too, that once agents get their business up and going, they're busy. Yeah. And so if they can leverage their business by hiring an assistant or using a transaction coordinator that might be available to them through their office, then to do that, because that's what those people do. That's their specialty, is checking all the details. And, for the most part, realtors, they're not detail-oriented people. That's why they like to sell, and they like to get out there and sell, and that's what they should be doing. So those are some of the mistakes we see. And something else that's not really a mistake, but that does hold up the process, is lack of communication with our realtors. And here again, they get busy, but we need them to answer emails. We need them to answer phone calls. We have questions, and we're here to help. And if we can't communicate and get that communication, here again, it's not so much a mistake, but it can hold up the process.
I know one of the things that I've found with agents over the years is sometimes they get a little thin skin, and when their seller gets on them or their buyer gets on them, they stop communicating with that client because they don't want to hear any more of that.
Right.
It's kind of scared them off.
Right.
And so, I always tell agents the best way to fix and overcome that is to go tackle it head on.
Right.
Call them, talk through it, work through it. Because you can't avoid your client,
Right.
Even if they're mad at you got to get past it.
Yeah.
You got to move on.
Right. And that breakdown in communication is not good for anybody.
No.
We're all here for a win-win, to get to the closing table and to close that transaction and everybody walk away happy. And here again, that's where we come in as a third-party facilitator and unbiased third party to help make that happen, to pull all the pieces together.
So you guys are keeping the money in escrow at the title company.
Right.
You are unbiased to either sides of the real estate transaction.
Exactly.
How can you help, as an unbiased third party, how can you help agents and clients through the transaction?
Shannon, I'm going to go back to just basic communication. That's how we help the most. And I think in the olden days, so to speak, I don't know so much now, but a lot of the training was that the agent was to keep the information all to him or herself and not to share the information of the client. And there's various reasons for that. But there is a page on the contract where the agent can put in the buyer information or the seller information. And we need that.
Yeah.
We need that. And so if you still are to the point where you don't want to give anybody that information, then at least give it to us, because here again, we're the third party unbiased facilitator.
Right.
We need that information. So here again, if you get busy, if you have problems with your seller or client, then let us step in and try to take over that process for you.
Yeah.
And we can't do that if we don't have contact information.
And with things like curing title, you've got to be able to go directly to the client to get help with that, right?
Exactly. And nowadays, we've even, starting 2016, we've even gone a step further where, because of all the privacy issues and CFPB, once we get in a contract, we have to send this consent of electronic communication and signatures to the buyer and seller, which gives us consent to be able to communicate with them.
And I'm looking at that form. It looks like a scary legal document.
It is scary. And so people go delete, delete, delete.
Yeah.
Well, but please don't delete. And so what we do is we'll send this to the agents. And then we hope to be able, that they will then send it to their clients and explain how important it is.
Yeah.
Once we get this back and we're able to communicate with their client, then that realtor can go on and sell real estate.
Right.
And let us help. Let us be the one that then communicates with your client. Once we get this back, then we send out to the seller and the buyer. It is called, it's a confirmation, the confidential pre-closing information. That is great information that we have to have from the buyer or the seller to identify who these people are, their marital status. It has social security numbers, everything that if there is a curative problem, that we can identify that these are the correct parties to this transaction.
Yeah, because I know many times it's just that there are many people who have the same exact name.
Oh, yeah.
And you all have, you pull a title and you find some people's have liens and things, and you've got to make sure that's not this buyer or that seller. Yeah.
Right.
So you're just trying to eliminate problems.
Right. And if it is, then great. Let's get the problem solved. But so that's why, the first thing we need is to consent to be able to communicate. And then the second thing we need are these pre-closing confidential information forms. And so the agent can really help us by getting this information back.
Okay. How do people out there, consumers out there listening, how do they find a good realtor? What do they need to look for? What's a good realtor look like?
Well,
you see a lot of them. You work with a lot of them.
And we work, again, with some really good agents. And I'll tell you, the best ones, I believe, are the ones who've had the training. Because we all know that once you get out of real estate school and you pass the state exam and you have your license, then the real process begins on, now what do you do?
Right.
What do you do? Becoming a realtor and working your business is a completely different critter than getting your license.
Right. It is. And
so you've got to find a great broker behind you.
Yeah, I think the broker behind you is important. I think that's really important. There are some brokerages out there where, and I know I've done this. I've worked for brokerages before, and when I was a newer agent, where I never even met the broker. The broker didn't even exist in my life at all. I never even met him.
Exactly.
I was working for an office manager, basically, who didn't even have a broker license.
Well, and I'll tell you, I do a lot of working with agents who have chosen 100% commission broker. And, I truly believe they're getting 100% of nothing. And so they need some type of training. So that's, to me, what a good realtor looks like, is someone who either they have training with their brokerage or they go looking for it because they know they have got to have that to succeed in this profession.
Well, I've said it before, I'll say it again. A realtor's whole job is to keep the deal together and get it closed. And if you can't overcome problems, you could have the same transaction with two different realtors. One of them break and one of them be successful.
Exactly.
Because it's just the difference of what the realtor does to know where to go when there's a problem and how to fix it.
Yes.
It's just
brokers
facilitating
can help
the transaction.
But you've got to know how to, yes, exactly.
Right. Okay, so you take care of North American Title in the Woodlands and Montgomery County.
Right.
And, there are some people out there buying and selling houses who want to use a great title company. So how can they find you guys?
They can call me. My cell phone is available 24/7. I answer on the weekends, as do...
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. As do my escrow officers, which I feel very blessed to be able to represent them. And we have other locations throughout Houston. So you can call me, email me at Martha. No, actually, it is M. And my last name, Schauer, AUER at NAT.com, which stands for North American Title.
And I know from the HoustonRealEstateRadio.com website, you can just click on the North American banner ad and get right to North American Title.
You can find us.
All right, Martha, great information. We appreciate you coming on today.
Thanks.
If you missed any of today's show, you can find us online at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com, and the North American Title banner will take you right to their website.
That's right.
And if you've got a real estate question, call us at 844-788-9444.
Thanks, Shannon.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors here on Houston Real Estate Radio.
Imagine you and your family return from a tropical vacation to find that one of your pipes burst, flooding your entire house. Are you fully covered? Will you only receive $100 for your TV that cost you $2,000 just 2 years ago? Will your insurance company pay for you to live in a hotel while your home is being repaired? What if on that same trip you lose your wedding ring? Will your home insurance coverage replace that as well? All insurance policies are not created equal. If you don't know the answer to these questions, you're not alone. Most people don't understand the gaps in their coverage until it's too late. Call Goosehead Insurance today and let one of our agents review your current policy to ensure that you are fully covered. At Goosehead Insurance, we understand the power of choice. Instead of working for a single insurance company, our agents have access to over 20 A-rated carriers. This allows us to craft a policy to fit your particular lifestyle, budget, and needs. It also enables us to reshop your policy in the future, if necessary, saving you time and money. No need to look for another agent. At Goosehead, we've got you covered. Our agents will walk you through each policy decision so that you have the coverage you need. If that's not reason enough, talk to one of our happy clients. Our client satisfaction scores are 3 times the industry average. To experience the Goosehead Insurance difference, visit us online at goosehead.com or call us at 800-474-1377.